Linda, this is for you. I'm going to do a button loop. And basically, I've got a button. I've got my leather folded in half. So I'm just going to put this through at the half mark. It's about halfway. Okay, so I've got my button. It's there. I'm just going to tie a knotted spot there so that it has some closure for the beads to go on. Then I'm going to add a bead. And for this one, I'm just going to do a knotted piece, just kind of a simple piece. And basically, the bead's going to be able to slide. Make sure when you tie your knots that they're even, so you don't have a lot of gaps. I'm actually going to do a little bead. Yeah, that's not going to fit on there. These little matubos work pretty good. And then I'll do a big bead. And these are actually kind of a wide, large hole bead. And another little bead, just to give it a little pop of color. You could put on metal beads or tube beads, whatever you like. I just happen to have these sort of here. Now you could continue this on to be a double wrap, which would be probably cooler, to give a little more width, you know, a little more substance to it. Putting some little beads on. I just pull those beads down and then do a little knot. And that's looking pretty good. And I'm close to being ready for my loop. I think I need one more bead and then I can do the loop. Small bead. Okay, so this is the end. And now what I need is a loop to go over the button. So I have the two strands here, and I need to make it wide enough to fit over the button. So I'm going to just tie a new loop, or tie a new knot. I didn't mean loop, a knot. And I've left just about the width of the button. I'm going to tie that real tight. Then you want to just test it, and that's a perfect fit. So now we have these little strands left over. Me personally, I like the strands sticking out. Linda, I know you were kind of saying, you know, maybe you didn't like that, it was awkward. You can cut them now and then put like a dab of super glue in there to lock that knot so it won't pull out, and then it'll look like it's just ended. Me personally, I like beads, so I would probably throw on a couple beads on one side. I would do maybe those, a couple little red beads and knot it. And then on the other side, maybe do the blue bead. Maybe I'll put a red bead with that too. And then knot the end of that rope. Now these you can trim tightly, and then you'd also want to put a dab of super glue. So I would just use my metal cutters and trim these edges. And then dot the super glue right on those ends. And that's the only part that might actually come loose. So let those dry. And you've got a cool little easy, this is a great project for kids or friends over if you want to get rid of beads. The biggest issue is making sure your holes are big enough in the beads. Anyway, this is Melinda from Bandana Girl. Stop by.